cooking up, no rocks in the pan. Watching the plan form in the sand. Bidding castles out of thoughts in our head. Late nights, no sleep in my bed. Trying to see my dreams manifest. Look at that, now look at that, we nice. Put the past on ice. I was bad like Mike. Now I'm good like Kendrick said, boy, we gon' be alright. I just doubled my price. I get love on sight. That's the only love I like. Now look at that, we nice. For all the ones who showed it, showed up with no motives. That fake love is so bogus. I don't take love from false.
What is going on, everybody? I am back, and it has been a crazy, crazy week of wrestling to be coming back to, of course, all this wrestling content with the wrestling community like yourselves. I'm so happy to be back. But, of course, tonight we're talking about Bad Blood. And we got some crazy matches, 5 matches. Thank God Tony Khan isn't booking this one, because otherwise we'd be here from Saturday till Monday morning, by far, for sure. There's no questions asked about that. But, of course, I have an amazing guest, a true brother, a true friend in my heart, for sure. My guy, God's favorite host, made him himself, my guy Byron. Byron, how are you, buddy?
Dylan, what is up? It's big business when you're back. I'm happy that you're back in the podcast game. I love you, brother. I love you, your continued success, and just keep up the great work, man. We're happy to have you back. I'm excited to be your first guest.
First
on
guest.
The Reboot.
Yes. I knew exactly when I said when I was coming back. I was like, first person I'm bringing back 100% was Byron. I've had fun with everybody. Don't get me wrong. Don't get jealous, people. But Byron and I, we share a very similar connection with a lot of things in and outside the wrestling space. So it felt necessary, and without a question, really, to bring you back for the first predictions. We started these together, in a sense, last time on the old channel. Me, you, Leo, and a whole bunch of other great people. But me and you were always there on the phone talking about how we're going to do these things and trying to book the matches and book the shows and stuff. So it made sense. I said, listen, you know what? Let me get my boy back in here. We gotta get him in here, of course. But yes, my guy, I'm so happy to have you back. We got a lot to talk about. Of course, the biggest topic besides the 5 matches is none other. Who is closing out the show? Is it going to be Drew and, of course, Punk? Or is it going to be Roman and Cody versus Solo and Jacob? Of course, I see my buddy Steven in the chat. What is going on, Steven? Of course, if you're brand new, make sure you show us some love by hitting that subscribe button and keep us posted, because we're trying to get to that 50 by the end of the month, and I think we could do it. We're at like 15, 16 right now. It's pretty good for just starting off. I'm pretty happy with that number, and I'm very excited to get to 50, hopefully by the end of the year. Steven saying that the show is officially starting open with Hell in a Cell. I hope not. I feel like it's kind of flipped around like a bad Kendrick Lamar album, starting the ending off in the beginning and the beginning and the end. Like, I don't want none of that. I'm good. I'd rather see something else. I'd rather see the Hell in a Cell. But we'll be talking about that just a little bit later. But my guy, how you been? How's wrestling treating you? I know you've been going on an absolute crazy roll yourself, doing NXT, WWE, AEW, your shows for, of course, all the NFL and MLB stuff that I've been a part of as well. What's going on, man? How are you? Let's talk for a couple minutes.
It is the busiest time of the year, with wrestling at probably the most popular it's been in 20 plus years, regardless of how you feel about whatever company or where your allegiance or tribalistic views come from. We like both sides here. We point out the good and the bad. You got the baseball playoffs. Unfortunately, my team's out, but baseball playoffs. The NFL is in full swing. College football, the WNBA playoffs for the ladies. Can't forget the ladies. So a lot going on, and we're heading into fall. October, scary season, spooky season. No, not me waking up in the morning, but Halloween and the holiday season. So ending 2024 off with a bang, and a lot of big things coming up, starting with WWE-wise. I think their biggest show since WrestleMania Night 2 will be Bad Blood.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is going to be by far a very important show, a show that has a lot of crazy history behind it. My buddy Roman was telling us over on TikTok that the WWE Championship and the United States Championship has never been defended on Bad Blood pay-per-view, which is very, very interesting, especially since they have not only the champion himself, but the former champion, the OTC in this lineup here for tonight. So I don't know. I don't know what we're doing over there.
Well, I think you mentioned it, and we can kind of get into it. You mentioned it's only 5 matches. You were cool with it. Usually, I am, but this is Bad Blood. I think we could have gotten 6.
You think 6?
One, it could have been 7, but I'll go 6.
Wow.
One.
Okay, let's talk about it.
First of all, look at the ticket prices. We talked about this last night. They're raping people out the ass. Excuse my language. We got inflation. We got a presidential election coming up. We have a port strike coming up. So please plan accordingly, America. But they're charging ridiculous prices for these PLEs because the product is hot. Supply and demand. I get it. But a show of this magnitude that you bought back 27 years ago, back when we were in diapers, Dylan, which was the first Hell in a Cell, saw the greatest debut, in my opinion, in WWE history. The Devil's favorite demon, bless you, Kane. They're trying to recreate some of that magic at the Hell in a Cell match. We got Roman and Cody.
Yeah.
I need a little bit more. We don't have a World Heavyweight Championship match on this card. We don't have a Tag Team Championship match on this card for since WrestleMania, the Tag Team titles have not been defended. Mm-hmm. We have a best of 7 series going on, and not a one of their matches have been on a premium live event. Not even on Bad Blood. United States champion, not on Bad Blood. We got Nia Jax on Bad Blood. Cool. We have Rhea and Liv on Bad Blood. Cool. But it's missing something because honestly speaking, you have all of these individuals who deserve opportunities. Mm-hmm. And you're giving them 5 matches. Obviously, this is what Triple H did at NXT. I loved it. But I think when you get to the bigger shows, you got to give us a little bit more. Like I said, I'm good with 6. I think a world championship match, like you mentioned, no world championship matches on Bad Blood or no U.S. championship matches on Bad Blood. They're doing a triple threat match on SmackDown for the tag titles. That couldn't be on Lean Show.
That could be, yeah.
We're going to get all the video packages still, all of the commercials, all of the shilling from WWE with sponsors, Prime, Wheatley Vodka. I think Cody has something to do with that as well. They're going to show a promotion package for Survivor Series War Games, which is coming up. And don't forget, guys, they're going to Saudi a month from today for Crown Jewel. So it'll be a 4-hour show still. But it does start at 6, which I don't think they want to interfere with the UFC show that's going on at night. But we know UFC and WWE are in bed together, own them the umbrella. So I think it'll still be like a 4-hour show, though. Because Roman will take 30 minutes alone coming out.
Yeah, Steven's saying that the cell match is also going to take about 30 itself, and it just seems like, like you said, it is pretty crazy that the only titles that are on the actual line this time around are the women's titles, which is cool. We're kind of highlighting the women's division, which is definitely something WWE doesn't do as often as they should. We've always spoken about that. The whole wrestling community has spoken about that. So I think that is also very good and important to highlight here when it comes to that. But at the same time, between ticket prices and the economy and everything else going on, we're still getting 4 hours and we're not getting a championship match at all in the slightest, not even a United States one, not even an intercontinental one. It is a little bit weak, in my opinion, as well, that we're not getting another championship match, especially with the tradition that we've never had one of those happening on Bad Blood to begin with. So something to break the chain, you could say, could be something of, hey, let's get the Intercontinental Championship an idea on here. Let's get maybe the tag team that's going to be having that over on SmackDown tomorrow night. It is pretty crazy that we're not getting any of that. But we got 5. We could stretch it to 7. Maybe we could talk about that a little later, why. But nonetheless, let's get right into it, man. Let's start off with the first match that I feel that is going to be, unfortunately, the opener that a lot of people are very divided about on the internet. It is none other than the best of 3, the best of 12, the best of whatever we're going to be actually doing with this storyline. But it is none other than Drew McIntyre versus Mr. Hell is Frozen Over, Pepsi Phil, CM Punk. I think I'm going to let you go ahead first because I do have some stuff that I want to say about this. But nonetheless, I'm going to let you go, my guy. Talk about it.
So this has been the best feud in all of wrestling this year. I think we can all agree on that. Regardless of whether you like WWE, who's your favorite, whatever. This has been the best feud in wrestling all year. And ironically, people don't realize this started from an injury because there were calls originally for Punk to win the Rumble. Thankfully, they didn't go through with that. They gave it to Cody. He finished the story. This feud spawned from an injury. what would Drew McIntyre have been doing if he did not have CM Punk and hurt him? He might be in AEW right now. People don't think about that. So this feud reinvigorated Drew McIntyre. It made us care about his new heel character. He did fantastic work. I always thought he was better as a heel anyway. Punk is a lovable babyface. They started with the bracelet. I know a lot of people didn't like it. It was whatever you want to call it. Opinions, fine. I thought there were a lot of other things they could have done to add heat, whether that's Drew stealing Larry, Drew attacking Punk in his home with his wife, maybe doing something to that level. I'm a sick bastard. I'm a sicko. So I go to the 10th degree when I'm thinking of these things. But I think this feud, the SummerSlam match was kind of a letdown to a lot of people. I think the special guest referee kind of made it a little more carny than you maybe wanted it to be with the whole bracelet. Why is CM Punk worried about the bracelet? Obviously, he's just picking up the bracelet because it was on the ground, not to take it from you. Then you lose. Then we get the strap match. I thought it was going to be, the strap match actually was better than the SummerSlam match. And then the story is Punk has never pinned Drew. Drew has pinned Punk. Punk has screwed Drew at WrestleMania, at Money in the Bank, in his home country, at Clash of the Castle, 3 different times. Then Drew beat him up in Chicago. Then we get Drew destroying the bracelet. That is where the feud really got the heat that it deserves a Hell in a Cell match. Because my question was, okay, these 3 men have been feuding. Why do they need Hell in a Cell? Why can't they just have a street fight? Why can't they just have a backstage brawl? Why can't they just have a first blood match? This feud has taken that level. He destroys the bracelet. He puts Punk pretty much on IR again. Punk comes back. I wish Punk would have announced the Hell in a Cell. I don't like Adam Pearce saying, oh, he wants you in Hell in a... You're not William Regal. This isn't NXT. Doesn't work. If Punk was coming back the next week, then you tune me in. Punk's coming back. Okay, Punk's going to call you out. I never beat you. I never pinned you. I want you inside Hell in a Cell. I'm going to make you bleed. XYZ. This needs to, the match-wise, I want to see what he did in AEW with MJF. That's the dog collar match. I want to see something like that. I want them bloodied, but I want a story told in the ring. It's not going to be a lot of flips. It's not going to be big. I don't even know. Maybe someone goes up. I don't even think. Do you want CM Punk outside of the Hell in a Cell? He's going to get hurt.
I want him on top. I want
Is he going to make it to the top without hurting?
God damn it. I want it. But again, though, like to your point, I also am sick like that. Like, I want that violence. You know what I mean? Like, especially with the way, and I don't mean to cut you off, but like, you are hitting every single key point that I was going to make. These guys have hated each other. Since Punk's return last year at Survivor Series, we saw everybody break. Seth breaking. There was those TMZ moments and videos going everywhere. Oh my God, Seth's going to kill him. He's going to take him out backstage. Then, of course, Drew comes out and he's like, oh, you decided to come back, make a big to-do about your big comeback, but nobody ever wanted you here to begin with. All of this stuff leading to all of this that is happening and unfolding in front of us. And since the moment, since that bracelet moment, it has just spiraled out of control. And now we're at a point where a Hell in a Cell works in so many levels. Drew knows Punk lives in his head rent-free. In a cell of his own, he lives there. He's doing the meme where he's at the graveyard and he has the Photoshop face. He has Punk having the meme where Jack Black's kicking the dog off of the bridge from Ron Burgundy. He has every ounce of ammo in his arsenal to attack this man, going, listen, this is war. Like, I can't wait to put you in my mind and have this one-on-one. Letting them come out Monday in the cell, I think, underplayed some of what we are expecting from this match come Saturday. I think, in a sense, it made us go, we know what a cell looks like. I'm happy that it's silver again. I never liked that red cell that we had. I'm happy we're kind of going back to that old school feel. I like the fact that this is going to just be a fight to the end. And that is something that needs to be told, like you were saying, like how MJF and Punk did with that that dog collar match. There was a well-told story between those two in the ring, wrestling and building up around it. Like, Punk was the guy MJF loved, my tribal chief, my next door neighbor. And now, all of a sudden, it is just coming to an end here. There is no more help. You could call God if you want to, but God's not coming to save you for this one. I want them on top of that cell. I want them through the cell. I want them to throw each other over the cell and Shane O'Mac themselves through tables. I want the violence.
Well, we don't get that anymore. This isn't AEW, you Mark.
It's Triple H.
This isn't
want
Indie Mud Show. Okay. Now we might get. I think Drew is 0-3 in Hell in Cell matches.
I believe so.
The last one was in 2020 against Orton. If you remember, he went off the side of the cell like Shawn Michaels did, I think. So maybe we get something like that. But like I said, if we don't think about this, people, we got to think about the business side of it. They don't want to hurt CM Punk because I think where CM Punk is going next, he is going to be going for that World Heavyweight Championship. That is your Survivor Series match. CM Punk, Gunther. Obviously, CM Punk's not going to win because we saw who came back on Monday. We know they're going to be. That's your Mania match. Book that match. We know if nothing else is happening at WrestleMania 41, we can get into all the big guys coming back, and we're going to talk about it later. We know CM Punk and Seth Rollins are going to be meeting each other in Vegas. Will it be for a title? I don't think it needs a title, but we'll get there. How do they get to that story? You kind of see where they're heading now. But real quick, because I always look at the long term, if you have Drew lose, what do you do next? How can these two bitter enemies coexist on the same brand? It just doesn't make sense to me. I think about these things. So if you can't stand me, I can't stand you, I beat you, you get off my show. Let's send Drew to SmackDown. SmackDown needs heels. We need people for Cody. We need people for LA Knight. We need people for whomever, because I think Randy or maybe KO too, but I know Randy's turning heel. I think that's where we're headed. So we're going to need another heel, I think, on top of that in the undercard. Why not Drew McIntyre? And we had a recent return vignette. You watch Raw, the War Raiders or the Viking Raiders, depending on who you know of them as. I know them as the War Raiders because that's what they came in as from Ring of Honor in New Japan. Ivar and Eric, fantastic tag team, misused for years, like many tag teams, and we can talk about that too. Tag team wrestling is the worst it's ever been in my lifetime. Trash from both companies. Like I said, no tag team title matches is ridiculous. Why not put Drew McIntyre with the War Raiders? Let them run roughshod on SmackDown. You got a tag team to put in the tag team division. You got Drew McIntyre, who could be a top heel. You got the Lucha Brothers. Obviously, we don't know when. I think Tony Khan's being petty with that whole situation. I think they're going to figure something out. I think they are going to eventually come in as well. Talked about SmackDown going to 3 hours. There's another tag team. You got the Lucha Brothers. You got the Street Profits. You got the Viking or War Raiders. You got the Bloodline. You got DIY. That's 5 teams just off the top of my head. There you go.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it enhances the tag team division. It makes them have a better arsenal. It gives them that leverage up into what.
Because how do you have a Hell in a Cell match and then on Monday they just walk past each other like nothing happened? I mean, how do you can't do that,
yeah.
You know?
No, I agree. And you can't just have Punk come out and be like, it's over. It's done. I buried him. What's next? And then Drew comes out and be like, you may have gotten me now. Like, okay, come on. Like, we don't need this. I think sending Drew to SmackDown is very smart. I think him being the heel that he is with all the talent that's over there that's babyface, need a good heel like with a Randy or KO can definitely work in that advantage. Bringing back the War Raiders to SmackDown and everything with the lead head of Drew McIntyre, I think is also a very smart idea as well. It gives us new flavor. It gives us something new. It gives us something exciting. It gives us something that we didn't expect or initially thought could work out. And I think with all of them mashed together, I think it works out more in the favor of the WWE and booking the tag team division better than we've had in the past or even in the current day standard. So I definitely agree. But let's get to the bottom of this. Who do you got? Do you got Drew or do you got Pepsi Phil?
I have CM Punk winning this match. Like I said, you may want them to go off the cell. They may go outside the ring. I think we need blood. Obviously, I think that's where we're headed. Obviously, I wish this was the main event because you bought this pay-per-view back for this reason. But we know Roman and Cody, they're going to sell that experience. I think CM Punk wins. I think it's about a 40-minute match. I think we get a good match. And hopefully it's one of the best Hell in a Cells we've gotten in a while because the last few, the Edge and Finn Balor wasn't good at WrestleMania. I think Finn Balor got busted open, so that didn't really count.
Yeah.
I believe Cody and Seth, that was just, I don't know, the match was good. It's just the moment of seeing Cody's chest is like never going to leave my mind. But the match wasn't really that good, if you ask me. We really haven't gotten a Hell in a Cell that I could be like, wow, that's a good Hell in a Cell. Probably in at least, since maybe Seth and Edge at Crown Jewel in Saudi. I think they had a Hell in a Cell. That was a good one. But
Okay.
nevertheless, I'm glad they're bringing the match back. I think Punk wins. Who you got?
I got Punk. Absolutely. It has to be. It just is going to elevate everything that we want to see out of Punk now, leading into Crown Jewel, leading into Survivor Series, leading into the Royal Rumble. Of course, we know that Punk's on the poster. Clearly, Drew's not.
Well, to my Drew point real quick, and if you hear these ideas from anywhere else, you know where they came from, because this is October 3rd. Remember Drew? I don't know if you remember. Drew and Wade Barrett had a little exchange recently, not too long ago. They're supposed to be moving Wade Barrett to do commentary. Yeah, to do commentary on SmackDown with Joe Tessitore, because Michael Cole is coming back to Raw with Pat McAfee and Corey Graves, I guess. You could do a Drew and Wade Barrett match at Mania. I mean, because Drew doesn't have an opponent. We've seen AEW do it badly, but we've seen the announcer come out of retirement thing. Wade Barrett said he wants one more match. His best friend. He could do something there. Drew gets the win. And we can go off and running with Drew as a heel, I guess, maybe on SmackDown.
I had a buddy going on that Drew point and Wade Barrett point. I had a buddy the other day tell me, he goes, you know what I see coming out of Hell in a Cell, which would be really, really cool, is Punk gets assistance from a guy in a hooded jacket or a hoodie. And Punk gets the win. And over Drew's body, the hood comes off, and it's Wade Barrett. And he goes, I have some bad news. And then that kind of sets up the Wade and Drew McIntyre, because they're friends in real life. They've been kind of spatting at one another recently and in these past months. So we could play on it. And especially if he's going to SmackDown and Wade's on SmackDown, it's the Bryan Danielson, Nigel McGuinness story of stories that we've been waiting for. Plus, Wade's cool with doing one more. Wade wants one more, and
Dylan, you know me, I'm always thinking. I always think about the creative. What are we doing long term? We're in October. April will be here before you know it. These are where you start to see the seeds planted. What is this guy doing at WrestleMania? What is this girl doing at WrestleMania? Right. Because everybody's not going to be in a main event match. Obviously, we got 2 nights, but we need undercard matches. And why not Drew and Wade Barrett? They can go out there for 15 minutes. You give Drew the win, and then you can start to build him as the menacing heel. I mean, you wouldn't want to see. I think the last person to pin Cody was Drew McIntyre. So there you go. And they both left WWE and came back. You want story? What better story than that? I left and did something. You started a company. You took what I did. It's simple. It's easy. But yeah, I think that could be fun.
Or like Steven's saying, Larry comes in. He interferes with the fight. He bites Drew, and that's it. We'll call it a day.
Can we kick Larry off Can Larry get kicked off the cell, or is that animal cruelty? I know you're a dog.
No, that's animal cruelty. That's animal cruelty. We're gonna protect Larry at all costs. All right, Larry at all costs has to be saved. But
Larry versus Braun Strowman's dog.
I'm down. He calls
Larry versus Braun Strowman. Larry versus Braun Strowman's dog.
That's a dog fight. That's a dog fight. You know what I mean? That's a dog fight right there. But all right, let's get to the next one. Of course, we are talking about none other than Nia Jax, the current reigning defending women's SmackDown champion, against Bayley, who just won her number 1 spot recently against Naomi, who is currently the Speed champion, which I still don't understand what the hell with all that.
Yeah, what you said? Speed. Okay,
Speed.
I'm sorry. I had to make sure I wasn't in the alternate universe. She's on Speed.
Speed champion. Yeah. She's a Speed champion. I don't know what that is, but hey, good luck in WWE. So Bayley and Nia Jax 1-on-1 at Bad Blood for, of course, the women's championship match. I saw it on Twitter and I lost it. I said, this ain't real. That was another signal for me. I said, I have to come back. Like, that was another one of those, like, don't please come back.
That's anytime you see, and anybody in the chat watching, no, I'm not having technical. If you see me go to the camera, I'm leaving, because it's just like, what are we doing here? I don't even have time to get upset. We're just leaving. We're just leaving.
I love that. But yeah, Nia Jax, Bayley, women's title. How do we feel Do we feel like this is the right setup? Do you feel like this is the right build? Nia Jax has been doing better. She's been safer.
I got a hot take for you.
Go ahead.
Nia Jax has been the best Triple H return that he's brought back.
Wow.
Over Braun Strowman, over Johnny Gargano, over whoever else you want to throw in there. She has been the best return. And I was not the biggest Nia Jax fans, but personally, the way she's gotten herself in shape, she has been eating right. She's been in the gym. She's motivated me to want to get right because she looks fantastic. She's not an ugly woman, but she looks really good even more now. And the in-ring work, doing less is more. And when you're big like that, you don't have to do much. You just make it look good. So her doing the bonsai drop like Yokozuna, I think that fits her character. Her promos, the whole bully angle, we've seen that every year in WWE. I don't really care about that. But when they put this match on the Bad Blood card, I was saying, why is this match on the Bad Blood card? Because we got the stupid tag team match. They both pin Nia. They don't do a triple threat match, which I thought they were going to do. Is this where we get a cash in? Because why else is this on the pay-per-view? Because this could be on SmackDown. We've seen it at SummerSlam. Go ahead.
Wait, okay. I'm trying to see how I could word this without sounding, because again, like, be aware, everybody. Clearly, I've not been around for quite some time. I took a little bit of break. I haven't really watched a lot of what has been going on leading to this pay-per-view, leading to a lot of the stuff that's been happening. I've been on the catch-up thing for quite some time now while watching the current product and kind of putting pieces together and figuring out what in God's name is going on both companies. So, like, I've been doing a lot of work here, so bear with me, people. But cash in at Bad Blood sounds exciting, but I don't think it's the time. I think if they're going to do a cash in, it should be Crown Jewel.
So let me ask you this before, while you cook. You want to, like I always say to people, like they want this Roman, and they want a WrestleMania.
I'm a hydrate on this one. I'm a hydrate.
Yeah. So you want to cash in at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. That's what you're saying.
3 p.m.
That we're going to forget. That we're going to forget by 5 p.m.
Because it's possible that we could get a failed cash in.
But you can't fail, Tiffany. You can't.
I don't think I wouldn't. But look what they did to LA Knight. Look what they did to other cash-in people.
Listen, I see the comments. I am not having Nia lose. I'm not even doing a cash-in because
Survivor Series
if you do a cash-in, if you do a cash-in, but you're on a show with a Hell in a Cell, Roman and Cody, we're going to forget about your cash-in. So it's going to be null and void. Your title reign will be off to a trash start. And we already know most of the women, let's be real, their title reigns have been trash. Honestly, the only reason Liv Morgan's title reign has been interesting is because Rhea Ripley is back.
And
if she didn't have Rhea Ripley, it would be terrible.
Our boy Leo's been helping out with that.
So I think you can wait for the cash in. I even wait past Survivor Series. We got a big show in your neck of the woods, Long Island, Saturday night's main event. You want people to tune in on a Saturday night. You want eyeballs on the product. You want NBC to make some money. You want to make some money. You got the beautiful pink briefcase. Why not? The last event of the year is Saturday night's main event. The biggest. It's going to be like a pay-per-view. So you got a big show. Why not do it there? And then I know Charlotte, the robot, is coming back. I think that is your WrestleMania match with Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair better lose, but I think that is your WrestleMania match since we're throwing stuff out there. But I keep Nia with the belt. You continue the angle, and then I think someone else even said it. I would love to see a Naomi heel turn, but I just don't think they're going to do it. She's one of those ones. Like, I think Bianca needs to turn heel. Yeah, she's just not. They're not going to do it. Even though I would love to see it because it wrote itself because they did the match. They could have had Naomi. They could have Naomi screw Bayley and have Nia win that way. Now that would be interesting.
That's definitely interesting because we saw that little spark after the match happen. But if we're going to talk heels, we can talk heels, of course, in a little bit for a brief moment. People are saying Jade. People are saying Jade is going to turn on Bianca. And, I don't know if I see it only because, to me, I know there's a little bit off the scale for a second, and bear with us. If you're not, listen, if you're new to us, if you're new to me, these things happen. Like, be prepared throughout the rest of the year going forward. These type of conversations will go off the rails for a little while, but we'll come back on. Don't worry, we'll come back. For the women, going with that heel turn, I don't know if Jade, if she does it, is ready. I think at this stage, even though I've been hearing mixed of she's not ready, she's still not prepared, she's still not hitting marks, she's still not this, she's still not that, and the other half going, she's ready, absolutely, she's been doing better, she's safer, she's this, she's that, she's making big money shots, she's making big money moments. With all of that, I haven't seen her, but from my take, I don't know if I would let it happen. I think Jade needs to lean more on Bianca for the rest of the year before she decides to go, okay, I'm done playing second fiddle. The reason why I'm here is because I am the next superstar. I'm the next Bianca Belair. I am the newest EST to be in the WWE, and I need to prove that. And I think that at that point, we then maybe could have the heel turn of Jade and everybody. And I think that's where now you have something cooking. But again, I don't know, because it is a 50-50. You know, going back to Nia and Bayley, seeing Naomi come out and helping Nia, yeah, would be wild. It makes a little bit of sense because of that little backstage segment, but with her being speed champion now, like, you know, like,
Yeah, now that you threw that massive curveball. Oh my gosh.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, how is she gonna risk it? You know, but like, with all that being said, like, I think all in all, this won't have any interruptions. I don't see a cash in for sure. I don't think Tiffany's going to play any element. She might be out near the ring in Nia's corner, for sure. But I do know, and we all know, it's coming. Tippy time is coming.
Yeah, it's coming before the end of the year. But like I said,
Yeah.
I was saying this in my preview videos. That guys, if you want more in-depth breakdowns, you know, I break down every match on my channel and give you my booking ideas. What are we doing with Bayley if she loses? Like I said, that's why I think the heel turn of Naomi would work, because we're going to need big time matches. I don't think, and cancel me, call me a sexist, we don't need a women's War Games match this year, okay? Nothing is interesting enough in the women's division for a War Games match, okay? We can do something else with that. So with that being said, we need women's storylines. They're talking, you guys want mid-card women's titles, right? We want more titles for the women, equality, right? Yeah. We need storylines that we're going to care about. So if we're going to bring in all these damn belts and give everyone a belt, you get a belt, you get a belt, mid-card belt, tag belt, wake up in the morning, brush your teeth belt, we need storylines. So what are we doing with Bayley if she loses to Nia again? She's not going back for the title. She's to the back of the line. So I think that would be beautiful. But I do think Tiffany is going to cash in eventually. I don't know who Nia faces next, because SmackDown is kind of bare on women. That's why I would have loved to see maybe a Roxanne Perez get called up, but she won on Tuesday. So I don't know what they're doing with that. There are some women in NXT that are ready, I think. And I think they need to bring them up and use them. They have Blair Davenport, but she's not doing anything. But we need women's storylines that don't involve the title. Everything doesn't have to have a championship.
Australia.
Well, she's apparently coming at Halloween Havoc, apparently. So
yeah, and then you also got, of course, Julia, who's down there.
So
you got a couple.
But I think Nia wins. I think Nia walked out with the title.
Okay, so you got Nia.
She's doing the best run of her career. We got to give her her flowers. We don't know how long this is going to go before she cracks someone in half, jumping on them from the top rope.
Yeah.
So we have to give her credit. That's why I said she's been the best return. She did a great job winning Queen of the Ring. She got some big wins, and she really made it believable. And she's doing a great job. Like I said, think about Yokozuna. Think about maybe early Big Show. She's doing a good job.
Yeah. I also got Nia. I think there's no reason to take it off of her just yet. I feel like everything that you said is exactly how I feel about it too. She's been doing great. She's been way better from the first time we saw Nia. Been safer, been more agile, a lot more movement in the ring. Just have been an all around better return, like you said, back, and it's exciting to watch. It's awesome to watch. So I'm definitely going with Nia as well. So far, we're even. We both are picking the same people, but maybe soon.
I think it's going to get a little interesting because I think some of these matches are a little unpredictable, which I like.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. Let's get to, of course, Mommy versus New Mommy, Liv Morgan. I guess that's what I'm calling her that, the New Mommy.
Are you going with Long Island's own or are you going with Mommy? Who are you picking? That's a tough spot.
I'm a Long Island guy. You know what I mean? I'm a Long Island guy. We do everything Long Island style. All right? MJF, next door neighbor. We already know. I got Rhea.
Winning this match?
I got Rhea.
Okay, go ahead.
I got Rhea because I think it's not the way I want it, but I feel like this is the direction we're going, unfortunately. Now that Jay is somewhat affiliated with Rhea and Damian, and now he's the IC champion, I think they're going to try to rebuild what has been taken apart from the old Judgment Day into a upgraded Judgment Day with Rhea and Jay at the top with belts. I don't know if they're going to add the love interest and all that other nonsense, but I'm thinking more of tight factions that will be dominant on Raw and money-driven and money-hungry to make you want to watch. And Jay and Rhea together as champions, in my mind, money-wise, makes sense. Keeping Liv with Carlito and JD and Dominic is great and all, and I think them as a faction makes sense for the next replacement of what Judgment Day won't do. Because I feel like Dom will eventually leave and he will break out on his own. JD will eventually leave and do his own thing. Carlito might be here and there once in a blue moon. Finn Balor will go on and do something else. Maybe ask for an apology, possibly try to return back to the Judgment Day, what have you. Liv will get thrown back into the women's singles division and, figure out what's going on with her. But I think where we're headed, especially with Jay winning this past Monday, the brand new Yeet champion, no Waffle House celebration, which I'm very mad about, Triple H, as well as no Mommy celebration. Very upset about that. Also,
we definitely need a promo. We definitely need a promo in Waffle House. That would be nice.
It would have been awesome. And we got no Jimmy. And even though Jimmy returned at a house show the night before. Right. So, to me, I think this kind of sets up a possibility of two mainline eventers that are exciting. People are drawn to them. People love Rhea Ripley. People love Jey Uso. Have them together. Have them be dominant. Have them be champions. Have them running around and doing what they do best, which is just yeeting and dominating all over Monday Night Raw. Is perfect. It's a perfect sync and harmony. But what comes of the other Judgment Day 2.0, we'll say, I think a disband will happen, and the chicken nuggets won't be flowing as much for Dominic very, very soon. He's going to have to learn how to cook for himself very, very soon. So I got Rhea on this one. I don't think this is going to be a very, I think it's going to be not that shocking that she's got it back. I feel it'll be more shocking if Liv does retain it.
Well, I think this is where we disagree. I think Liv retains.
Okay.
I think you forgot the biggest key, my guy. The stipulation. We got Dominic going back to jail or hanging from a shark cage. Dominic on a pole match. So no Dominic interference. So it just looks like Rhea is just going to run through Liv Morgan, which probably should happen because Liv Morgan's like 5 feet tall. So I get it. It's going to make you look like, oh, it's no way Liv is going to return her title. Rhea is going to dominate her. There have been reports, and everyone's been talking about it. I can see it happening now, especially with the stipulation that a certain Raquel Rodriguez is on her way back. Does she debut or align herself with Liv as her bodyguard, as her protection to help her keep the women's championship? Because if Rhea wins the championship, where do we go? Who does Rhea have to face? And Liv, this is the best run of her career. Speaking of Nia, this is the best run of her career. So you lose the title, what is she doing? She's not going to win the Rumble. She's not going to get it back at Mania. Once Rhea wins the title, it's over with. That ends it right there. It's no need to go back and forth. So with that being said, it's going to look like Rhea has the advantage. It's going to look like, oh, no Judgment Day interference, because I think they're going to interfere in the other match, probably the Finn and Damian match. That will leave Raquel Rodriguez turning heel. Remember, she was tag team champions with Liv, and I think was the last person to beat Rhea in NXT before she got called up. So you got the history there. Rhea can face adversity, go through Raquel. We could lead even into maybe, if you do want to do a War Games match with the women, Team Rhea versus Team Liv. You get women involved. You could tell a story there. That could then culminate. I know I keep going back to it. Saturday night's main event. Rhea Liv one more time, maybe in a steel cage. They're going to need a marquee match on that pay-per-view, maybe, or that show, or maybe in a street fight or some other stipulation. Rhea gets her title back. Rhea goes into WrestleMania season to face, I don't know who. Don't ask me that right now, but I think Liv wins here, and we continue to feud a little bit more. We continue more layers. So I'm going with Liv to retain. I thought Rhea would retain it, but once I saw Dominic not being able to interfere, my antennas went up. It's too obvious that Rhea's going to win. I think we get a swerve. Maybe Raquel, maybe Judgment Day. Something happens, and I think Liv retains her title.
Okay. All right. That's our first argument of the night. Let's see if we can continue the argument now with, of course, Priest and Finn Balor. And I know you just spoke upon it. You said that there's that possibility of course, Dominic and Liv and Carlito and JD kind of interfering with Damian, as we just saw it happening recently on Monday Night Raw, possibly getting and giving Finn that upper hand advantage, making it more of a easier look of, oh, he's winning. There's no chance. There's no chance that Finn's going to walk out of here without a W on him. But of course, now you have Rhea Ripley, and you also have possibly Jey Uso coming to the side of Damian Priest to even the playing field. It's not fully even because there are more sides and more players on the Finn Balor side, but at least you have Jey, you have Rhea, maybe Raquel, if she does show up for that Rhea and Liv match prior to doing the Priest and Finn Balor match. I am going to say Finn is going to walk out of this one with a W, only because the stack of people he has in his arsenal kind of can throw off the talent that's on Rhea's side of her arsenal. So I have Finn winning this one, but of course it's going to be dirty plays and dirty dom and chicken nuggets flying all over the place on this one. And of course, a coup de grace just to do a little more damage to Damian Priest. So I got Finn on this one for sure. How do you feel?
That's why it's always important. I tell people, always look at match placement on these cards. So we know we're starting with the Hell in a Cell. So that lets me know probably what they're going to do is they're probably going to split these matches up. One end of the card, one on the other end. Right. So we'll probably get one of these second and then one of these probably before the main event, I'm guessing. So with that being said, I think we need, and then anybody in the chat can agree, we need Finn Balor to get a push. When are we going to get Prince Devitt, Finn Balor, whatever you want to call him, where he needs to be? He was the first ever Universal Champion. We have not seen anything close to that since. They've ruined his character, the Demon. They've made him a joke. Being in Judgment Day has really shown how good of a leader he can be. Remember when he was in Bullet Club in New Japan, all of those things when he was a heel, NXT. He needs a win. And I think heading into 2025, it's two people who need to be, if not world champions, damn near close to it by the end of the year. It's Kevin Owens and Finn Balor. We know Kevin Owens' contract is coming up. What does he do? I think he stays. We need another world championship run from Kevin Owens. However we get there, I don't know. And we need Finn Balor to get back what he never lost, which is a world championship. Because that means I don't know, he's a heel, so probably won't be right now, but We recently seen, Braun Breaker turn face. It's obvious he's going to get pushed. We could do, Finn Balor next year. He could be one of the heels to take the title. I think he needs to win here because if Priest wins, the feud is over. What are we doing? I think this feud gets dragged out. This is match 1. I think we get at least 3 matches out of this that culminate either at Survivor Series or at Saturday Night's main event. I think Finn wins here. I think Priest wins the feud, but I think Priest looks good. Looks like he's about to win. I think Judgment Day does come in, interfere. Finn gets the win, and then we got to run it back probably in Crown Jewel, then culminate it maybe at Survivor Series on a stipulation match, like I said. So we'll see. And it could be something with Jey Uso. We could get a War Games with them. We could get Priest and Jey Uso and Rey Mysterio and LWO against Judgment Day. I don't know what they want to do, but there are a lot of ways they can go with it. But I think Finn, out of anybody else on the card on Saturday, he needs a win. If Rhea wins, I get it. I understand it's Rhea. I'm not going to be mad, but I'm just think Liv's going to keep the title. But if they give it to Rhea, I wouldn't be surprised. But Finn needs a win. He's a leader of a faction. He's trying to establish dominance. They've held the match off for 2 months since SummerSlam, so they built it up, which I like. The promos have been pretty good. I think Finn needs a win, and I think Finn will get the win on Saturday.
Yeah. All right. So we're back to agreeing. I like this. This is what I liked about us. We agree a lot, we disagree a lot, but we're good. We're good with that. I like that. Well, now let's get to, I guess, the main event that people are very upset about, it seems, because it's seemingly that the Hell in the Cell, if you haven't joined the show in the beginning, we found out that it's going to be Hell in a Cell opening the actual show of Bad Blood. That is what the reports are saying. That is what the internet's saying. I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold off with all of my official statements and stuff like that, only because God only knows. It's only Thursday, guys. Friday, something could change. Saturday morning, they could change it. And an hour before the show, they could change it one more time. It's notorious for WWE to change shows 40 different times before the actual thing. They could change it during the match itself. God only knows. So we'll see who's actually opening the show. But as of right now, it stands. Hell in the Cell is opening up Bad Blood. And the finishing match is none other than the old, washed up, defeated Bloodline leader, the OTC himself, Rachel Reigns, and Cody the Roller Coaster versus none other than Roman Jr. and Jacob Fatu. And a tag match that everybody seems to not really understand why this is happening. Solo finally getting a win on a SmackDown is nice. It's exciting. But again, he's been on a losing streak. His people around him have been getting the wins. His people around him have been doing more damage. Jacob is running around like a Tasmanian devil, breaking his ankle, coming back and trying to kill himself all over again. There's so much going on here that I think it is truly, truly, truly going to be a very interesting one here on this one. But the biggest question that we'll talk about a little bit later is who's taking the pin? Because I think that is the actual question of the night. But who do you have? Do you have the American Roller Coaster and Rachel Reigns coming out on top with their fingers up? Or do you think it's Roman Reigns Jr. and Jacob Fatu coming out on top with this one?
There is no way Roman Reigns is taking the pin. This is his first match in, 6 months since WrestleMania Night 2? He ain't taking the pin, you geeks, okay? Stop with that, all right?
Stop
that ain't happening. Juggernaut, stop. I see you, Jugs. I see you, Leo. Hey, Miss Queen. Hey, Steve.
Raymond's taking the pin.
Stop. That is not happening, okay? Let's get that out the way. The Bloodline has to win this match. Or the Timu Tribal Chief and Jacob, they have to win this match,
Roman Reigns Jr.
Solo, how many times has Solo lost over the since he beat Cena, which is about a year ago? How many times has his brother lost? Matter of fact, how many times has his brother lost to Cody? At least 3, okay? Yeah, he pinned him in that one tag match.
How many times has his brother lost to his self-esteem? That's really the question here. You know what I mean? He's coming out here looking like a washed-up Eminem. I don't know what to tell you.
I think I know why Solo is so pissed off. For those who don't know, Solo's father is Rikishi.
Yeah.
And Rikishi has a podcast. And Dylan, I know you've been kind of under a rock lately, but every podcast up until now, because I guess his complaining finally worked, he was complaining, oh, my son Jey Uso deserves better. He deserves to be pushed. He deserves this. He deserves that. Oh, pray for Jimmy. Jimmy will be back soon. He never talks about Solo.
Solo.
He just gets neglected. He's just the lost child who just gets neglected. But Solo is arguably doing the best work of his career. You may not like him as a tribal chief. I think he's doing okay. He's doing a good enough job to make it believable. Now, I thought this is where we would get the Solo Roman match, maybe one-on-one. We may get that at Saudi. We may get that at Saturday night's main event because I think we're headed towards the War Games. But Roman isn't taking the pin. Rikishi, love on your kids because Solo's probably doing as good a work of any of your kids. Shout out to Jey Uso now, but give Solo some love, okay? The man was in the main event of SummerSlam. He didn't even mention him. He's just talking about Jay complaining. I mean, come on. Anyway, that's an aside. I think Cody takes the pin, and I see Jackson in the chat. First of all, I do not want Roman and Cody 3. We do not need it. Please, for the love of God, no.
Just know, sleep tonight knowing we're breaking the news now. Jackson broke it already, but I'm saying it now. You know it. I know it. They need the money. Clearly, WWE's struggling. They're not worth any more billions than they already are. They're already struggling, so they need this money maker.
So you want Roman and Cody at 3?
I don't want none of this. I don't want none of this.
So let me ask you: we're going to get that match, and then what's going to happen? A double DQ because they're going to interfere?
No, it's going to be either Crown Jewel or it'll be WrestleMania, and that's it.
Can they coexist? And now Vince McMahon. So Cody's taking the pin from Jacob Fatu because I think we're going to get a Cody Jacob Fatu championship match at some point. Probably maybe at Saturday night's main event, maybe at Crown Jewel because Roman's going to be on the show and Cody's going to be on the show. We don't need Roman Cody 3. Why don't we do Cody Jacob Fatu, Solo Roman? That could lead into War Games. Then you could have War Games. I know everyone's pitching War Games, Bloodline versus Bloodline, but let's be honest. How much time do we have towards Survivor Series? That is a massive story to tell. Roman getting his family back. Roman atoning for his sins. Remember how he treated Jay. Remember how he treated these guys. Remember how he beat Sammy's ass. You can't just win these guys back in 2 weeks. You can't just win these guys back in 2 shows. Hey, guys, I'm back. Come on, let's team up to take out my family. Forget everything I did. It doesn't work that way. So either they're going to rush and put all of them back together, which is going to piss a lot of us off because the story should have started a long time ago because we only got a month left. And now Jay is the Intercontinental Champion. So how do you know that of him going to SmackDown? And Sammy, he's not going to win a world title, but he's with Jay. So are we going to have a logic gap where we just don't explain it? I think we could see this. Roman, Cody, KO, Jimmy Uso, and Randy Orton. That's 5. Solo, Jacob, the Tongans, that's 4, and Hikuleo. We know he's coming in, the big brother, the big 7-footer. This is the debut where we saw Kane. Do we see another giant debut at Bad Blood to help the Bloodline win? Does he come out of the crowd looking crazy? Who is this massive guy? We don't know who he is. We know who he is. You don't have to play dumb. We know he's coming. Just come on in and do what you're going to do. He's going to come in, maybe do something to Cody, and Cody takes the pin in his home. We know WWE loves pinning people in their hometown. Yeah. Cody's not immune to taking pins. Cody, I think, is good enough that he puts others over. He sells the story. He's good at that. He took a pin the night before he beat Roman. So he knows that. And I know everyone's saying, is The Rock coming back? And Cody talked about what they have planned for WrestleMania is something we're not even thinking of. So I don't know what the hell that means. No, not Roman Cody 3. It has to be The Rock and Cody, if that's what we're thinking of. But I do think The Rock is coming back, but not yet. He does have a Christmas movie coming out. I think he comes back in Survivor Series because he can sell the movie. He can do that. But if we do Roman, Cody, Jimmy, Roman, Cody, Jimmy, KO, and who is my 5th person? Roman, Cody, Jimmy, KO, and Jay. And then you could do the Hikuleo, and then you could have Randy Orton turn on Cody at the end of War Game, and then you could tell that story, Cody and rate RKO, and you could tell the whole KO story because they're teasing that in the background. And how much longer is it going to be before KO or Randy snap that Cody's working with Roman, Cody's getting into business with them? I think we do Cody Roman 3 at Saturday night's main event. I think that's their main event.
Okay. So who do you have winning?
I'm going with the new bloodline. Jacob Fatu pins Cody. Jacob Fatu pins Cody. We get a championship match out of the 2, and there you go.
Could I be honest with you? I also agree with that. I think, and the biggest thing is, and you mentioned it, and everything is that Solo establishing himself as the new tribal chief that has no wins under his belt, except for the one from the recent Friday Night SmackDown, is important to take into accountability. If you're going to have this guy leading in the Tamatongas, the Jacob Fatus, the Hikalos of the world that are coming in to be the new bloodline, because Roman's going to be now part-timing. He's going to come in for a little while, come out. He's going to be doing movies. Cody's the champion. There's other things going on with Cody anyway. If this is going to be SmackDown's new faction, you need to let this man at the head of the table get more than just a win every 7 months. It doesn't establish dominance. It doesn't establish leadership. It doesn't establish anything. He has been doing such great work with the mic that it now needs to translate to in-ring ability. If it doesn't, then what are we doing with this faction? Because Jacob Fatu could do his own thing. Tama Tonga and his brother can do his own thing. Hikalo can come into NXT, like Jackson's saying, and be a monster. The Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed of NXT. We don't need them all to come together just to watch Solo lose every single week. We don't need it. Nobody wants it. Having Solo pick up the win on someone like Roman, and Roman taking the pin, not only establishes that he, Solo, is the new leader and the new head of the table, but is now on a come-up going into Survivor Series War Games. Because if we are going to do Survivor Series War Games where it is Roman and Cody and Sammy and the Usos versus this new bloodline in a cell, in a cage, you need to start letting Solo, when it is time to wrestle, pick up wins that matter, that are going to shake the audience and go, wait a second, what is happening here? Because if you keep letting him lay on his back and eating pins, his dominance is going to get overlooked. Survivor Series, we could call it now. He's going to lose, and that's it. And there's no point in anything.
So since this is the main event, and I know everyone's saying The Rock, it has to be something big ending the show. So is yours Solo pinning Roman?
I think that's the big moment. I think my big moment is going to be Solo pins Roman. I don't see, I get it. Bad Blood. What was it? 97? Kane came back. Kane came and became the Thing. Yeah, you could recreate that if you really, really want to. You could have The Rock come in. Cool. But that's not those are things that we kind of already have been waiting for. We kind of know what's happening. Get something that's crazy. Give us something that the WWE Universe is going to be talking about. Give me something that says, holy shit, Solo just beat Roman. Roman just came back. Roman lost at Bad Blood to his own family. He isn't the tribal chief anymore. He can't be. How can he lose to Solo, who's the mega loser of the brand new bloodline? How do you okay with that?
But what are you doing at Mania? So what are you doing at Mania? I say do Roman and Jacob Fatu. If you're going to do Cody Rhodes.
I mean, yeah, you could. You could if you just want money. If you want money moments, sure. Cody Rock, yeah, you could.
But my whole thing is, why does Roman only put over his family outside of Cody? But he beat Cody first. Let's not forget.
Right. I think it's because of the fact that Roman knows he's done. He was the longest reigning WWE champion. He beat everybody, Hogan, all of them. He beat everybody except for maybe one or two. But he was the longest reigning modern day champion of a very long stretch. After losing to Cody, he's done. He's do movies where he's not going to get hurt. And the poor man has cancer. He's battling that throughout the rest of his life. So he can't always be performing on the road 200 days out of the year And if he becomes champion again, or he's on a run of his life, or he's in a crazy storyline that he's the most pivotal piece into that storyline, all of a sudden he needs to take a step back and be Joe again. It makes the crumbling of the writers now scrambling to find something else. I mean, of course, by now they'll find something, and they probably already will have a B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z backup plan. But at the same time, if Roman's just going to do the Rock moments where it's, hey, Cody, I'm going to come back. I'm going to do my thing. Me and you we got business that we need to finish still. Let's finish that, but let's finish this first. This is where now Solo can take that Achilles heel of Roman and use it to his advantage and be like, look, I'm now the man that's still hung around. Jay and Jimmy, they're gone. Jay's his own person. He's with the Judgment Day, whoever the hell they are. Jimmy's out sick, getting new tattoos, doing his thing. I'm here. I'm bringing in legends, and I'm building them up. I'm letting them go crazy like it's the Indies. I now got something that you never gave us, which is a legacy that can live on between me, between Jacob, between Tama Tonga, that could be between Niccolo, that can live between all of us. But now it is my turn to show you why I am the head of the table. And by pinning Roman at Bad Blood and having that picture moment of Solo over Roman's body with Jacob, with guaranteed Tama Tonga and all of them are going to come out with the ones in the air, that's your ending scene. That's your ending moment. That's the scene that everybody will say, oh, Solo's on a come up.
Well, that would make a reason for him to go get his family then, because he needs help.
Yeah. Right.
And I think him and Cody are going to have some sort of miscommunication spot as well, which we always see, right. And then it'll lead to probably someone getting spiked or getting kicked by Jacob Fatu. So I don't hate Roman taking the pin. I just don't see it happening. But it would add the heat that you want, because they're going to probably still do a one-on-one match.
Right. This is Bad Blood. This is families fighting. You know what I mean? That's the theme of all of this. Bad Blood's theme is ending beefs in a bloody battle and having families progress in their family feud moments with no Steve Harvey. That is what is happening here. You know? Like, that is what we need to, if we're going to end this show, we're starting it off with a battle between Bronze and Brand, Cody, Punk and McIntyre, and then we're going to Rhea and Liv with Dami and all of them, and you got Finn and Priest, which is brotherhood, then you got Nia and Bailey, which is friendship, and then you're ending it with family. If that is how the structure and the theme of this pay-per-view is going to go, the ending shot needs to be Solo over Roman with the win. Has to. That's going to make us go, Bad Blood was an amazing pay-per-view. That's how I would book it. That's how I would.
Hey, look, as long as the new Bloodline wins, I don't care. They need to win.
Right. I just don't want Jacob to get the pin on Cody, because then it's a story that's going to progress slowly but surely and take longer to get to the match that we want to eventually happen. I'd rather have Solo win and come back that Friday, go, I beat the guy, so I am the guy. You now have to bow to me. There is nobody else. Yeah. And that's how you do it. And that's how you do it. But that's it.
But I like how the stories are bleeding into each other with the whole Cody and Randy thing. Because like I said, I could see Randy, KO, Roman, Cody, and Jimmy against the Bloodline. You could have the turn in there. The new Bloodline could then win War Games, and then they could do whatever they want to do. Because Roman's going to be on every show. You got Bad Blood, Saudi, Survivor Series, and main event, the Saturday Night Main Event. So he is going to be on TV more. So we'll see kind of what's happening probably as early as this week. But I do think if he takes the pin, great. I'd love to see it for Solo. Then maybe Rikishi will be proud of his son finally. But I think Bad Blood will be. I think Bad Blood will be a big show. I think it will be some surprises we're not expecting as well. What that is, I don't know. Could it be The Rock? Could it be something? I think something big, because that's how you got to end the show. And if they end the show, like you said, that's big. I'm cool with it.
It's huge. It's huge. It's a statement. I want statements. You know what I mean? I want Drew and CM Punk flying off the cell, broken bodies. I want Rhea destroying Liv Morgan. I want Finn dismantling Priest. I want Nia sitting on Bailey. I want Solo over Roman with the win. Like, I want the destruction and the violence and the chaos and the point of Bad Blood to be bad blood. I want this stain, this iron metallic stain, to leave in their mouths for weeks to come going into that Saudi show and Survivor Series. This is the starting point to build Survivor Series. And if you can leave that iron metallic taste in that mouth for that long, that is how you pull off this miniature pay-per-view little bump in the road before, of course, the bigger ones to tell the longer ended stories. So that's what I think. I think that's kind of where I'm at with it. But of course, that is going to do it for us here. I think we've spoken for way too long on this whole entire thing entirely, but I'm so happy I got it to do it with you, my guy, Big B, Byron himself, God's favorite host, and the awesome, one of many awesome co-hosts that you have on there about the Flex Zone. I'm going to let you have the floor for a little bit. Tell them what the good people you got cooking for you. Whoop. How do we do this? I'm trying to put you on the screen here.
Drag me over. Just gotta drag me over when you hit the bottom box, and then drag me to the top. It should be one where it's like a square. There you go. There you go. He got it. It's been a while. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. God's favorite host. If you don't know about my podcast, it's the Flex Zone podcast, which I host with many others. Dylan has been a part of it. We do watch-alongs for all the premium live events, so all the WWE pay-per-views, all the AEW pay-per-views. We do weekly watch-alongs for AEW, certain episodes of NXT. We do certain SmackDowns, and we will be doing Raw when it goes to Netflix, at least the first episode. So join us for that. We got match previews. Every match I broke down like we do here. Give my winners, my losers, how I book it. We got sports content if you're into the NFL, Major League Baseball, the NBA is getting ready to start up. We do our flagship podcast on Mondays, and you see videos each and every day. We were live every day this week. So thank you, everybody, for all your support. And we're going to do it again this weekend with Bad Blood. And hopefully Dylan can join us for a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to. I'm trying to get home early enough where I could join you guys for Bad Blood. I decided with doing this new channel that I'm not going to be doing pay-per-views. I kind of want to join good people that have been doing these pay-per-views for a while and kind of just hang out with them and, be able to talk and bullshit with them and stuff like that throughout them all. Of course, do my rants and crazy hot takes and, be my true MJF heel that I am and so well known for and stuff in this wrestling space. But I'm so happy to have you on, man. I'm so happy that you were able to come on and be a part of the first predictions episode. Of course, next week we're doing Wrestle Dream with, I think, me and Asa and Kay. We're all going to get together and be doing Wrestle Dream itself. That's going to be very fun. But of course, this coming Friday, nonetheless, we are going to also be covering SmackDown with another watch along right here on the Long Island Wrestling Podcast. So make sure you stick tuned and stay tuned in. Of course, if you're brand new to the channel or you're listening on audio, make sure you give us a follow. Give us a good star rating. 5 is amazing. 3, I'll take a 3. I will. I'm cool with a 3. 2, I don't want to talk to you no more. But I think a 3 is decent. But no, absolutely. Make sure you also check out Mr. Byron over here and the Flex Zone cast. Great people. They're amazing people. We got a couple of them in the actual chat today. A couple of his amazing people in his community coming over and hanging out with us, just like myself as well. I got ABJ. I see, of course, Steven is in here as well, and so many more. Leo came over. Juggernaut came over here. Queen came over here. Jackson came over here. Thank you guys so much. Of course, if you're brand new, make sure you hit that subscribe button for me as well. I much appreciate it. The goal is 50 subscribers by the end of the month. If we could do that, I think that would be awesome. So let's try to get that subscription number up, so that way we don't go down. All right? I appreciate you so much, Byron. Thank you so much for coming on, buddy.
Hey, proud of you, man. Glad you're back. Continue the great work. And shout out to my guy, Zach from Pigtown Sports. Check him out. He was on our show Monday. Great interview with him. Good brother, Zach. So check it out. And yeah, hit the like button for Dylan or you're going to get slapped Like Willow slapped Mariah May last night on AEW, you better slap that like button and you better subscribe to the best podcast in all of Long Island. It is none other than my boy Dylan.
That's awesome. Let's play this outro and let's get the hell out of here. Byron, I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Rain cooking up, no rocks in the pan, watching the plan form in the sand, bidding castles out of thoughts in our head, late nights, no sleep in my bed, trying to see my dreams manifest. Look at that, now look at that, we nice. Put the past on ice, I was bad like Mike, now I'm good like Kendrick said, boy, we gon' be alright. I just double my price, I get love on sight, that's the only love I like. Now look at